Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? You already know what it is, man. You're tuning into Whoopty Woo. Yeah, yeah. You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Cam.
Boy Jay in the cut.
And, you know, we got a special treat for you guys, man. We got a special guest in the building right now. This man has been training with world-class trainers. He's also sparred with world-class boxers. He has a lot of knowledge when it comes to combat sports, man. It's my boy Tarek, aka T the Truth.
Hey, yo. Before you get started, man. Before you get started, I love the new background, man. It's beautiful.
Hold on a second, dude. What the fuck is that?
Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful, man. I love it.
Hold on. Wait a second.
Absolutely beautiful.
So this is a little irritating. I ain't gonna lie.
What's the problem?
The problem is y'all ordered the wrong fucking jersey.
What do you mean, man? It's Howie Long, Oakland Raiders, man, all day, baby.
What? No, bruh. We've already had this discussion, man. This is not a Raider
sports show, man.
I don't give a rap. No. This
Raiders,
is not a fucking Raider friendly podcast. Okay? Didn't I say this before?
You sound real salty right now. You sound
Hell yeah, I'm salty. What the hell is this?
What's supposed to be up there?
Not no damn Raider jersey.
All right, well,
a Chargers jersey is supposed to be up there, man.
You probably need to talk to somebody about that because I have no idea. But I will tell you this: it looks fucking great.
No, it's trash. There's just trash on the wall.
Hey man, one man's trash is another man's kingdom. Thank God for our kingdom.
Oh my gosh, man. Whatever, man. Hey, anyways, we got a lot of things to talk about, man. A lot of good stuff, a lot of inside stuff, a lot of inside scoops, some secret stuff that y'all don't even know about. For the viewers that just joined us, thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming in. We talk about literally sports. Anything that happens in the sports world that is very interesting, we're going to give you all that information. On top of that, I just want to give a shout out to the viewers that's been here before. Thank you for coming back again. We really do appreciate you guys. And let's just get it started, man. So there is reports that came out that Damian Woody was talking about with the Dallas Cowboys. And I've already said this many times before. If you've tuned in to the my other shows, how I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys has a chance or even a shot to make it to the Super Bowl.
Damn.
I just think it's just ridiculous. Like their quarterback, Dak Prescott, is too inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? He throws a lot of picks. I'm not saying that they don't have the guys to make a good football team, but they don't have the right team to beat the Eagles.
What you got against Dallas, man? You always got something to say against Dallas. What do you got against the South? Or is it Texas? Is it Dallas?
It's not that I have anything against the South or Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're talking about the Buccaneers back in 2002, yeah, I'd be like, oh, yeah, the Buccaneers have the team to win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But Dallas does not have the team to win the Super Bowl. They're not even going to get past the Eagles. They're not even going to get past the Eagles. So for you to come on live TV, Mr. Woody, and say that the Dallas Cowboys has a fair shot of making it into the Super Bowl is just, it's crazy. It's literally insane to me. Okay?
Can you say dynasty? I just want to hear you say it. Say dynasty one time. Just one time. Just say dynasty. Just say that. Can you do that?
You're telling me right now that the
Dallas Cowboys are a dynasty. End of discussion.
Oh my gosh, dude. Cut it out. When's the last time the Cowboys has even won a Super Bowl or even gone to a Super Bowl? Or even
what's your team again?
The Chargers, baby.
Exactly.
You know what it is, baby. You know what it is. The Chargers, baby. LA Chargers, baby.
I'm still waiting on the Jets.
Oh man.
I'm still waiting on the Jets to make it. I'm not a fan of just they lose so bad all the time. I'm starting to root for them. I'm like, come on, Jets. Just one. Just do it 1 year.
I'm not gonna hold you though. I feel like the Jets have a better shot of making it into the Super Bowl than the Cowboys.
Damn. That's
And that is a real thing. Think about this, man. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers now.
Oh, shit.
Enough said. That's all I need to say. A quarterback that can actually give the ball to the receivers. A quarterback that's not inconsistent. Dak Prescott's too inconsistent. It doesn't have anything to do with the whole dynasty thing. Look, I give props to Jerry Jones.
Aaron Rodgers is washed up, man. He's too old. That's why they got rid of him in Green Bay.
Listen, Heat, I like Aaron Rodgers. You know, he says whatever the fuck he wants to say. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I appreciate him for that.
I want to say Aaron Rodgers is 36.
Washed. He's a real dude.
That's not washed though as a quarterback.
Washed.
That's not washed as a quarterback.
Washed. I guarantee you, before the season's over, he'll be out by injury or some shit.
Are you serious?
He'll be out. He'll be sitting down with
how many games?
He'll be sitting down. He'll be suited up, but he'll be sitting down with one of them long ass jackets on, so clapping his hands, talking about "Go team, go team."
So Rodgers is washed up. Basically, Dallas Cowboys. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, straight
Oakland
up.
Raiders, iconic team. Fuck y'all too.
Yeah, fuck the Raiders.
Fuck the Raiders.
100 times.
100 times.
A million times.
To the square power.
1,000 quadrillion. Google can't even. Fuck the Raiders, period.
I could just intervene. What's y'all team? Who y'all got?
Got for what? Exactly. The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So you want my Super Bowl prediction? Yeah. Okay. So for the NFC, I got the Niners. I'm not even going to hold you.
Team.
I love how their defense is put. I like Fred Warner. I like their whole D line. Nick Bosa is an absolute beast. You know what I'm saying? And then also too on the offensive side, you got Debo Samuel.
Just give us
what I'm saying? Man.
Debo.
I fuck with the Niners, and then in the AFC, I'm going with the Bengals.
The Bengals,
yes.
Oh, I like the Bengals.
If that Joe Burrow injury don't affect him,
That's only a calf injury. It's not a knee injury or anything like that. It doesn't need surgery. He just strained his calf, so he'll be back and ready to play during the regular season. And I think that's the legitimately
anything
that's
calf area should be something to worry about.
I don't know. I think they're going to take their time with him. I mean, he did tear his ACL a couple years back, but it's just a calf strain, so that's not really too major. And I think they're the only team in the AFC that has a legit chance besides the Jets. Now, that is my sleeper. The Jets are my sleeper team because, like I said, Aaron Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback. He really is. I mean, you can't really take from what happened last year because the coach in Green Bay didn't really like set up the Packers to be a really good, legitimate team last year.
Hey, man, where do you get your fucking information from?
Because listen, man. Aaron Rodgers couldn't get no sleep, man.
This sounds like hog fucking wash.
How
answer my question first. Where the fuck do you get your information?
Man, I watch football. I watch football.
And you know what? My dog stares at the TV sometimes too. That don't mean shit.
Hey, my dogs know exactly what's going on TV. So let's not insult a dog's intelligence.
Thank you.
They like what's going on. Yeah.
Man, I don't understand why you don't think Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback still. What kind of information do you have that says
you still haven't answered my question.
It's got to be his politics.
No, he still hasn't answered my question.
You just don't like the man's politics.
My question, I'm questioning your journalistic fucking skills and your capabilities.
Come on.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm questioning your knowledge of sports.
I watch a lot.
I'm questioning who the fuck you are and where in the fuck do you get your information.
Hey, simmer down now.
Hey, man, sports how you're supposed to get it, dummy. That's where I get my information. Sports how you're supposed to get it.
Who got a lighter for Terry?
You know what I'm saying? I do right here.
Listen, okay, you're getting out of line, okay? And if you get out of line, then you're gonna get dealt with. If you get what did Terrence Crawford say? I love it.
You're gonna get dealt with.
What did he say? I can't forget exactly what he said. But if you get out of line, ew. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is a great player. I'm not an expert on football, but I'm on the Jets. The Jets needed something.
They did.
I mean, you can't tank that hard. Didn't they get rid of the quarterback What happened?
Well, so they didn't get rid of the quarterback.
What happened with that guy?
Zach Wilson is just trash. And not only that, I think he was spooked being a starting quarterback. And he just couldn't get it right. You know, why
is it okay for you to call somebody trash and not okay for me or anybody else to call somebody trash?
It's his show. Come on.
Oh, you're right.
It's the truth. I mean, he had one of the worst QBRs in the NFL. I mean, he couldn't even get the ball to the receivers. He's inaccurate, throwing the ball over their heads. You know what I'm saying? Looking scared in the pocket.
You said QBR, is that Queef and Booty, right?
Quarterback.
Damn, I haven't heard.
My bad.
I haven't heard the word queef in such a long time. Thanks for bringing that one back.
Hey, yo, that
queef. And you know what? I have a feeling this is the time when we're gonna hear queef now, and we're not gonna hear it again, maybe ever again.
It's gonna be another 10 years.
I'm telling you, let's just enjoy the fact that someone said the word queef. Queefing.
That's hella funny.
That's retro, man.
But you know, the Jets actually had a legit offense running the football, and then when they did move to their other quarterback, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but when they did move to the other quarterback, their second string, they were actually a decent football team. But I just think that Aaron Rodgers just prevails them. They gets them over that hump and gets them to the position that the Jets have been waiting to be in for a long time.
Didn't he start late, Rod, his career? When did it start? Didn't he come up? He didn't come up the traditional way, right? Did he try out or something?
No.
What was the story?
He came straight in the league from Pop Warner.
He didn't come the convention. What happened? He didn't come up the conventional way. No, he got to be as good as Favre. But yes. he came up the unconventional way. Am I right?
Yeah. So what it was they had Brett Favre, and he was behind Brett Favre for a long time. I think it was 2007, if I'm correct, or either 2007 or 2009 is when Favre went to the Vikings.
Yeah,
Can you fact check me on that, Jay?
Yeah.
Can you fact check me on when Brett Favre went over to the Vikings for me? I think it was 2009. Yeah. But then after that, Aaron Rodgers was killing.
I mean, how he got into football in the first place?
So
he was unheralded. I don't think anyone thought that he could make it.
So right? Aaron Rodgers is from Chico, California. Shout out to Chico. And he went and played at Butte. And when he went and played at Butte, there was not a single school that really wanted him. He was sending out tapes, and one of the schools that he sent a tape out to was Penn State, and they sent it back and basically told him to find a new sport.
Yeah, he's an inspiration. This guy, this guy made it against the odds, and no one really thought that he could, and then he became one of the best.
Oh yeah.
So that guy's really an inspiration, and if you see him, he's a real dude. Because if you listen to even to his politics, agree with him or not, you know, he's a real guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he thinks for himself, and even when it's not popular. And I'm glad the Jets got him. They need somebody. I mean, they're fucking failing bad.
Absolutely. You know, and what's good to have a good defense if your offense can't produce. I mean, they say defense wins championships, but offense has to score. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to the Jets organization and getting that done. You know what I'm saying? But that is why they are legit sleepers. Besides, the Chargers. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm always gonna root for my Chargers to the day I die. But the Jets are a sleeper, and then I think that the Bengals are gonna take the AFC because the Chiefs have a very hard time getting by the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals got their number. I know that last year that they beat the Bengals finally. But even then, that was a close game. And it was hard for Mahomes to, really get the ball down the field. I mean, he was hurt. His ankle was hurt. He had a high ankle sprain throughout the whole playoffs.
It wasn't nothing hard about getting
it was hard. Trust and believe.
And we doing it again. We running it back.
No.
The Chiefs running it back.
There's no way.
Your team lost to us twice last year. Y'all could get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Already y'all could get the fuck out of here.
Hey, man, it's a new season, baby. That's all I got to say. It's a new season, baby, and good luck.
Like I said, we still got our bet in place. We still got our bet in place. My team going to have a better record than you. My team going to win the Super Bowl, too, but we definitely going to have a better record than y'all.
No, I don't think so. I think we're going to be right there with y'all. You can't short the Chargers, man. I mean, you just can't. Our defense is really good. I mean, the only problem is the nose guard position and the D tackle position. But I feel like we got that covered.
How much can you short the Super Bowl champions? How much can you short them?
I can short them a lot. Their defense is suspect. Their defense is suspect, man. Your defense is suspect, bro. You barely got by the Eagles. You barely got by the Eagles.
That was
you barely got by
your pick. Last week that was your pick to win the Super Bowl.
You barely got by the Eagles. And I know, but as I keep looking and as I keep learning about the Niners and the Eagles, I think the Niners have a better shot of winning the Super Bowl.
I believe we beat both teams last.
Yeah, but didn't they lose the quarterback?
They did lose their quarterback.
And then the guy, the substitute, did the best that he could, but he kind of froze. He choked. He choked. Well, who came in for him? I forgot exactly.
No, he didn't choke. He won like fucking 7 straight, and then he fucked up his elbow. And so when he fucked up his elbow, all the Niners could do was run the ball.
I'm sorry. You know who I like? What's the Dolphins quarterback?
Tua. What's his? How do you say his last name?
I love that guy.
I can't remember his last name.
I love the way he plays, man. The way he plays is very entertaining. You know,
it is.
If it wasn't for, but every time he gets going, they just run him over like with a Mack truck. It's just boom.
Yeah, he's a small guy.
He's I love the way he plays. I think the Dolphins. What do you think about the Dolphins? You think they got a shot? I like the way they play. It's the guy who came in for him.
I like the Dolphins' offense. The Dolphins.
Yeah, I love their offense. It's very entertaining. Yeah. I mean, they play a great ball.
To me, they have the second best wide receiver duo.
Yeah,
they definitely have the second best.
Yeah, the Dolphins are very entertaining.
I just don't think the Dolphins can get by the fucking Bills, man. You got to get by the Bills, and that's going to be hard to do.
If that guy can stay from getting injured,
even if he can stay from getting injured and stay away from the concussions, I don't see the Dolphins really doing that well. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I see them doing well, but I don't see them winning the Super Bowl or even getting close to the AFC Championship.
So who's going to win the Super Bowl? Because I want to put a bet down. You know, I'm trying to fucking gamble. I don't know about everybody else. I'm trying to put I'm trying to put some money down. Because you can bet on the future. You can bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl even now, I think.
Yeah, you can.
On FanDuel maybe. So look, I'm trying to get rich, baby, you know. So you got to, come on, give it to us. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Man, if you that's a hard one.
Is it the Chargers?
No, the Chargers ain't going to win. They'll win next year. We got 2 more years. But I personally think it's the Bengals year, man. I think the Bengals are going to do
Bengals. I like that. Okay, the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to do it.
But they did good last year.
They went to the AFC Championship last year. They went to the AFC Championship last year. So here's another thing that we talked about last week. We were discussing how LeBron elevates players, and one of the players that I said that they elevate that he's elevated was Anthony Davis. And just recently, Anthony Davis has got signed for $168 million for 3 years. And personally, do I think it's a good sign? Yes, I think that they made a good job by signing him back. But I don't think they should have spent that kind of money on him. And the reason why I don't think they should have spent that kind of money on him is because he cannot stay healthy throughout the whole entire season.
Oh, we're talking about the NBA.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis. You know, it was very frustrating because of how spotty his play was. He would show up sometimes, but I felt it was the same way for.
Sorry to interrupt y'all, but
sure.
Shout out to our boy Marcus Robinson. He said, "What's up, man? Much love, fellas."
Hey, what's up, Marcus Robinson?
In, man.
How you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, man. Thank you. But yeah, he's all over the place. I mean, when he's on, but when he's off, he's really off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think just for the simple fact that he cannot last the whole season, they should have went out and got another big man.
I think that's a two-way street. And I'm talking about as the organization wise. Maybe I'm thinking they have faith in Anthony Davis 100%. but also they looking at the trade value for him. So they might have gave him that much money just so they could, we give him all this money. We could see what we could trade, all the assets how much is it?
100. I think, man, per year, I want to say it's like.
Is it 3 years, 180? So it's about 60.
It's like almost 60. Like I think it's like 59 point something.
Yeah, that's a couple of. That's about 3 good pieces. 60 mil, you can divide that up. D'Angelo Russell is making $7 million a year.
You know, I'm not an expert on basketball.
Bullshit.
I'm not an expert on basketball, but from watching last year, I just thought that if Davis was more consistent, I think the Lakers wouldn't have been eliminated because they played very well considering the age of LeBron James. And LeBron James, I think if last year doesn't prove really that he's among, if not the best of all time, is who at that age is he put up such a great effort. I mean, people forget because he's in such good shape.
Yeah.
People forget that he's like 40 years old. So when you're watching him, you're like, we remember him being a little bit more consistent. He put up better games more often. But under the circumstances, he put up a hell of a game. If Davis could have been a little bit more consistent, I think they wouldn't have been, because look how far they got even under those circumstances.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I think I agree with you. I think if Davis, and God knows why that happened. I mean, why, maybe other people who are more knowledgeable can say, well, listen, this guy, X, Y, and Z. But he's a young guy, right? Davis is a young guy.
Yeah, I think he's in his early 30s.
Okay, early 30s. So,
yeah.
But how long he's been playing for a minute?
He's been playing. Can someone fact check how long? I think he's been playing for like 9-10 years.
Yeah, okay.
Anthony Davis.
Well, who knows? These are human beings. God knows what's been going on.
But I mean, dude, spend the money the right way. I mean, why would you want to sign this guy who, I mean, in other people's eyes is an NBA superstar? I think he kind of like fell off because of the injuries a little bit. But why would you spend all that money on just one person when there's other big men out there that you literally need? Like you need another big man.
Maybe wherever he went, they needed a team leader. Maybe he's going to go to that team, and maybe he's a natural leader. But under LeBron, who's going to lead? You know what I'm saying? Because whatever LeBron wants in LA, they're going to make happen, regardless.
LeBron's not retiring though. He didn't.
But all I'm saying is that maybe he's going to get to a team where he will be the man that's calling the shots and the man.
LeBron's leaving though, right?
And I don't know shit about basketball, but that's what that tells me.
Not yet.
I thought he was going to leave the Lakers. He's not leaving the Lakers.
No, he's not going to leave the Lakers. But I mean, I get Heat. I get that. I get that 110%. I understand that.
Who was, man? You know what I was disappointed with? The Knicks. The Knicks, man. That's my favorite team ever since like the Ewing days. And they made it so far, man. I would have loved to see them go all the way.
The Knicks, I mean,
fuck out of here.
Hey, shut up.
The Knicks just don't. I mean, they just don't have the guys on the bench to do the job. That's the only thing.
They don't even have enough on the starting.
Wait, refresh my memory. Last year, it was the last one. It was who and who again? Refresh my memory.
In the finals?
Yeah, I'm drawing.
It was the Nuggets and the Heat.
Right, the Nuggets and the Heat. And the Heat, man, I was so frustrated. The Heat had it.
Yeah,
they got so far considering the size of their team. The inconsistency even of the main players. Sometimes they would be on, and sometimes they would just completely choke and blow it.
Jimmy Butler Jimmy Butler didn't show up a few of those games, and that was kind of the reason why. Jimmy Butler not showing up, not having Tyler Hero on the starting lineup as well.
The big man, I mean? His Butler's Bam should have been a lot more consistent. And the frustrating thing is that sometimes he would come in and have a great game, but Butler wouldn't. Or sometimes Butler wouldn't, he wouldn't. Or sometimes neither one of them, but you can't play an inconsistent game, especially with the Nuggets are so consistent.
Yeah.
But they give them a run for their money. It was,
It was all right.
They tried their best
for a finals. It was all right.
No, they got swept, didn't they?
They got their asses
they gave them a run of their money in 4 games.
Yeah, they got their asses whooped. But I mean,
I'm gonna keep it hood.
I think that it would have been a more competitive finals if they had Tyler Hero. Like that's their best shooter on their team.
In all honesty, even if they had Tyler Hero, I don't think they would doing anything with the Nuggets.
I agree
I
with
don't
that.
think they were doing anything
Yeah.
with Jokic.
I mean, that's it's convenient because he wasn't there, so you can say, well, if only he was there. But look, one of their 3-point shooters, I forget his name right now. There was a couple of games where he scored 0, and he's a starting player. How do you score 0 in the whole game? And they need him to put down threes.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. It's just that sort of thing, you know. He need milk. You know,
that boy
get
some
that boy some milk. You know, but
Wait a minute, what the hell?
yeah, they needed they needed more consistent performances out of their supporting cast and their main players, and that's where they, sometimes they would come in and put it on. That's how they got that far. But when it came down, the Nuggets are just a very consistent team.
Yeah,
that's the
sound.
problem. They're a very
They're sound,
consistent team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
But I wanted to piggyback on what you said earlier about Bam and Jimmy Buckets. I just feel like the Heat doesn't really have that main ball handler, and that's why you have inconsistency with Bam and Jimmy, because I feel like both of those guys are trying to be the main ball handler, and I don't think that they have the right IQ to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't think that they have the right IQ to be the main ball handler, which is probably the main reason why they want Damian Lillard so bad.
Oh man, that would be a great addition to the team. I think that would be dope as hell. And Lillard's fun to watch. I love watching him play. Yeah, I think you're right about that. But Butler's an inspiration too. He came up unconventionally too.
He did.
He's another unheralded guy that made it so far, and he's a real dude. I listened to him off the court, some of his thought process. I love listening to that guy. That guy's a real guy. You could tell why they made it that far, because they're just undersized. The whole team was undersized. The Nuggets were so much bigger than them and more consistent. And you're right. All the pressure was on Butler. And I feel like Butler would be better if he wasn't the one who had to carry, you want him to be LeBron on the team. And I think they needed someone really, he would be a better, is that fair to say, more of an assist, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they need someone to lead the team.
Yeah.
And it's on his back to do that. And I think he'd be better more as a
co-captain.
Yeah, or yeah,
like a Robin to some. Yeah.
Yeah, let him come in and contribute. He'd be better as a contributor rather than you're putting all the pressure on him to lead the team and carry the team in those moments, because he's really good. He'll come in and he'll take the onus, but it's not consistently.
No,
you need a LeBron. You need a character that could kind of, and he can come in and put down. You
need a guy who can hit the big shot in the primetime moments.
Yeah,
which is why they want Damian Lillard. But I have said it before. I'll say it again. I ain't fucking scared to say it. It would be a waste of time for Miami to get Damian Lillard just because of how much assets they would have to give up. They would have to give up a lot just to have him on the team. You know what I'm saying? So it would be good for them, but in the long run, they still would make a championship. And that's the God honest truth. You need a bench to make it into the championship. But anyways, we got a little bit off topic.
Wait. You said God honest truth. So now you bringing religion into basketball. So you have the Holy Bible of some shit you're saying?
No,
that's the God. How is it the God honest truth?
Because man, you can't win. Come on, bro. You can't win in the NBA. You cannot win a finals without a bench. You just can't do it. It just doesn't happen. If your bench is not good, you're not winning the finals. That's why the freaking Warriors won back to back. You know what I'm saying? And then the Cavs went and got more shooters and then won the finals. And then they went and got Kevin Durant, even though they still lost a couple of key dudes, but they still had a bench. You have to have a bench to win. You can't just win with your starting five. That just doesn't happen.
And you need God to win, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We got to bring religion into this. These guys need God on their side. We can't take him out of the equation.
You know what? You're right, and I want to say that right now, man.
Come on.
I want to thank all of my fans and thank God for getting me here and getting you here and getting everybody here.
Come on,
get the fuck out of here.
What do you want, an atheist team? As soon as shit goes hard, they're gonna quit. They're gonna say fuck this shit.
Yeah, straight up.
Come on.
Straight up. But
I heard. Now this is through the grapevine. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard you got some real breaking news about some shit. This is what I heard. This is what is. I don't know. I mean, little birdie told me on the streets, that you got some exclusive shit that you might want to talk about. I don't know.
I do. I have some very exclusive things. And let's get right into it. So for those that you know, last week I picked Earl Spence to win, and Earl Spence got fucking demolished. Demolished. He looked he really, to me, looked like a amateur boxer, the way that Terrence Crawford was just piecing him up. And so I'm not going to tell you who I was on the phone with. I'm not going to tell you who I was on the phone with. I'm not going to tell you who I had the conversation with, okay? But from my source, I had heard that Mike Tyson went to Earl and gave him a goodie bag, okay? And in this goodie bag, yes, in this goodie bag was a bunch of weed edibles and shrooms. Now, I'm not saying the guy did it, okay? I don't know. I wasn't there. But from my source, I was told that he was up all night, didn't sleep all night, and took a couple of those edibles.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard as well.
Oh, yeah?
That's the rumor that's going
Wait a minute,
around.
what the hell?
But look, Tyson.
Whoa. Check this out.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense because when I watched the fight, I said to motherfuckers that I was watching the fight with, I was like, when he was standing there, when they were announcing his ass, I said, look at his fucking face. He looks like he don't want to be there. There's something wrong with him. And then he had this dumbass smirk on his fucking face, like, like he okay, now that you're saying this shit makes sense, that motherfucker was high. He had to be.
I mean, so
God damn it, Tyson.
Watching that fight, I looked in Terrence's eyes and I saw determination. You know what I'm saying? I saw like, okay, this guy is gonna kill this dude. You know what I'm saying? He just looked like he was ready to just come in there and fuck shit up. And then you see Earl, and he looked like a fucking deer in the headlights. Like it was the.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it was to me. It was just the weirdest thing ever. I don't think he was really like. It didn't seem like he was there, but he wasn't there and ready to compete. I don't think he was ready for all that. I don't think he was ready for all that smoke.
I mean, you know, when they come out the tunnel, the walkout is such a candid moment because it's a very intimate moment. You know, things just got real. And although there's cameras and there's a crowd and everyone's looking at them, all the thousands of people and the millions and the cameras, but all that seems to go away and you get a very candid moment there. When I saw Spence, I just saw a guy that looked like he hadn't slept the night before, and he looked like he couldn't keep his eyes open, and it was the kind of look like he had smoked a blunt or something, you know. Crawford, to me, he looked like the deer in the headlights walking out.
Oh, really?
I think that he's such a real guy that I think inside of his mind, he probably played every worst case scenario. But once he got inside the ring, all of that went away. Because to me, he felt a little disjointed. The way he walked out, the whole thing felt a little awkward. But I think that he understood the gravity of the situation. This was also Crawford's biggest moment.
Mm-hmm.
This was it, you know, and it makes a lot of sense. Look, if you're philosophical about this, if you believe in the metaphysical and you believe in destiny, Crawford couldn't have lost that night, because if he would have lost that night, they would have discredited his entire career. They would have said, see, he's overrated. See, he only fought bumps. So, you know, I think God works in mysterious ways. I think that had to be his night, because Spence can come back. You know, Spence made a lot of money that night.
You really think Spence could come back from that?
100%, because I'm a maniac who believes in redemption.
Oh man,
do you believe in that pumpkin head that he had after that motherfucking fight? Do you believe in that swollen ass pumpkin head he had in that fucking fight?
Yeah, he looked like that Martin meme. You see that meme going around for Martin, the show Martin, where he was his head was like this big and he was beat up. I was like, damn, that does look exactly like Earl Spence, but that was funny. But I believe he can come back because I'm in the belief that, look, man, if you're not dead, you're not brain damaged. If he goes back to his doctor and everything checks out, you can come back.
Okay. Now let's be really technical right now. You're a boxing person, right? Let's be clear, right?
Okay.
No, I'm asking you a question.
No, that's my identity. Yeah. So
Yeah.
don't misidentify me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying. I am a boxing person. Don't get that twisted. Okay.
You're not a boxing man. You're not a boxing dude.
Sir.
You're a boxing person.
Sir.
Yes.
Let's not get out of line, okay? Let's just keep this civil.
All right.
Let's keep this
So
civil.
my question is from a boxing standpoint.
Yeah.
From a boxing standpoint. Obviously you've sparred, you've been in the gym, you've worked with a lot of people, you've worked with champions and so on and so forth.
You get your ass handed to you.
Okay.
One day.
So you, from a boxing standpoint,
yeah.
How bad of an ass whooping do you think he got? Like from a boxing level.
From a boxing level, even someone with no boxing level,
yeah,
saw how bad of an ass whooping that was. I think you could be a layman and understand how bad of an ass whooping that was. That was maybe one of the worst ass whoopings in the championship fight in the history. I mean, I can't.
But the thing is like, okay,
that was as brutal as it gets.
After the second round, I think after the second round, maybe around the fourth, fifth round, they should have thrown the fucking towel in.
I thought that fight was over from the first knockdown. My biggest issue in the fight was when I saw Terrence Crawford create a knockout jab that he had used on Kell Brook. That opened my eyes really wide about who Terrence Crawford was. I said, this guy's a modern day Sugar Ray Robinson. He went and invented a knockout jab. And Kell Brook didn't even fathom that something like this existed. He hit him with a nice short. He waited for him, and he caught him with a nice short jab. He just stood in front of him, and when Kell Brook went to do something, pow, he just hit him with it, and that fight was over. So if you really think about it, Spence was knocked out because when he got back up, his legs were not there. And the juice and everything was gone. All the same punches that were in a round and a half that he was hurting Crawford with. And Crawford, you have to give him a lot of credit. He took a couple of shots early on in the first round and a half before the knockdown. He took a couple of shots. You saw the starch go out of his legs. He looked a little wobbly, but he ate it, recovered, and
kept going.
And then the rest, and then but when he knocked down Spence, it was over. I mean, he really was gone after that. So you look, you got to give this man a tremendous amount of credit for the heart and the grit and the determination that he had when all was lost. I mean, at one point, Spence's legs were so wide apart he could not stand up, and he still found a way, any way, to stay in the fight. So you really can't blame Spence. Spence had tremendous heart. But you got to look at his corner, and you got to look at that referee, and you got to ask yourself, was that worth letting this man take maybe 5 rounds of a brutal beating that he did not need to take? Was that fair?
So that's why I want to bring this up. So if you watch UFC,
yeah.
So Tony Ferguson fought Justin Gaethje, right? And Justin Gaethje beat. I mean, when I say beat the shit.
Oh no, that was a worse beating than the Spence beating.
Yeah,
I'll tell you the truth.
You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, Tony has not been the same.
He wasn't the same before that, man. He wasn't.
Man,
he wasn't the same. He wasn't the same. See, the thing with Tony Ferguson is that something happened where this guy went from being eccentric to all out crazy. And there was a police report. If I can finish what I'm saying, there's a police report that his wife called the cops. He was talking. He said the walls were talking to him, and then he tore up his whole house, attacked his family, and they called the cops on him. I think something happened with Tony Ferguson.
El Kukui.
Yeah.
El Kukui. Listen,
I love that guy.
He was a really unconventional fighter. You know what I mean? And let's be real clear. In MMA, that sport evolves so fucking fast. Like a person like Tony Ferguson would become antiquated quickly, and that's exactly what happened. His unorthodox style became antiquated.
It wasn't even equated. When he was in his best days, he would get his ass whooped, and then he was so tough that he would rally back and knock you up.
Again, as a boxing person and as a person that understands combat sports, you can only take so many of them motherfuckers. You can't take that much damage all the fucking time.
No, I'm worried that the guy is schizophrenic or has bipolar. There's some kind of a mental issue because he's not in touch with reality anymore. and it's affecting his performances. And to be honest with you, after the Gaethje beatdown, after getting knocked out in the last fight, and then he got, not the last fight, the one before that,
the worst way,
right? And then
Michael Chandler, that kick was so fucking vicious.
I think it's over for Tony. I think it's over for Tony when he's a great Eddie Bravo jiu-jitsu artist and he's getting choked out by Bobby Green. Call it a day, pal. You know, it's over. You know, when look, Tony Ferguson. I'm not downing Green. I think Green is a very awkward fighter. I know him. I know him for his hands.
Yeah,
not for his jiu-jitsu. Okay. Yeah. So Tony Ferguson is actually a high-level jiu-jitsu guy because he trains all those years with Eddie Bravo, and that's a great system, Eddie Bravo's system. So he's known for his jiu-jitsu, actually.
Third planet.
Yeah. So to me, when you're getting choked out by Bobby Green, dude, call it a day. Okay, let's just retire. You feel bad for these guys because they fought in the UFC, they didn't get paid shit. Then their career goes sideways, and you know he probably needs to make a living. But I mean, this is getting ugly. I mean, you're getting head kick knocked out by Chandler. That I didn't know that guy even kicked.
I didn't even know he kicked.
I never even seen that guy kick one time in his own career.
All of a sudden he's not
was
so fucking crazy.
You got a guy knocking you out with kicks who never threw a kick in his life. You got a guy choking you out who can't grapple. It's over, Tony.
Yeah.
El Kukui, we love you. It's done.
It's crazy too because I love Stephen A. Smith, man. I love Stephen A. Smith. I think
man, fuck Stephen A. Smith.
a lot of people don't like him, but I love him.
No, I don't hate him. He
came out and
said a fucking moron.
He came out and said that Earl needed to retire, and I disagree. I disagree that Earl needs to retire.
Of course.
I don't think he's going to be the same fighter. No, after that ass whooping, I just don't see it happening. But I do agree with you, and I said this week. Tony Ferguson, it is time for you to hang it up. You have not won a single match since, I believe, 2019. You know what I'm saying?
And look, I just got done saying I'm a big believer in redemption. Okay, but you can't be completely delusional. There has to be a light at the end of the tunnel, even in theory. And for Tony Ferguson, even in theory, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. I hate to be negative. I hate to be toxic about this. Tony, it's all doom from here, my friend, doom and gloom. But no, I think Spence still has a chance because, well, I don't know if he has a chance. We have to see. Boxing is about what happens. No,
he has a chance. I don't know if he has a chance.
Well, because that's how the whole thing, even leading up to the fight, you're like, yeah, I think he's going to win, but I don't think he's going to win. But the thing is, I want to see boxing is about, is not about when getting your ass handed to you. You're going to get your ass handed to you at some point. It happens in the gym. This is a normal occurrence. But boxing is not about how many fights you win. It's about what happens when you meet adversity. Mm-hmm. For Errol Spence, this is the most adversity he's ever had in his entire career. It was never meant to be easy, not at this level. So when Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Hasim Rahman, he came back 6 months later, and he put on a highlight reel legendary knockout. He destroyed him. He did it, and he did it a round sooner. He showed what he was really made of. He proved who the real heavyweight champion was. If Errol Spence is healthy, and I'm not saying, look, he may go to his primary, his doctor, a specialist, whatever, and they may say, listen, you got brain damage, bro. It's over. He might be shell-shocked. I don't know. He may never recover mentally from what happened.
That's what I mean.
And he did. Word is, and I have good word, that he beat himself up over this. He felt that he let a lot of his people down. A lot of people bet on him big, and he let everyone down. And he's been beating himself up over this loss. And what I'm saying is go get checked out. If you're good, go process what happened to you and come back again. Come back again. They'll fight in December. If he's clear and if he's good, they'll come back in December at 154. Give him another chance. Mm-hmm. Give him another chance. I don't think it's over. For Tony, it's over. But for Spence, for Tony, it's done. There's got to be.
Sorry, Tony. It's a wrap for you, mate.
I mean, there's a difference between one ass whoopings and 5, 6 brutal ass whoopings in a row. You know, the UFC, the thing is, UFC doesn't give you any reprieve. It's one, I mean, like me and my buddy were talking earlier about Nick Diaz because we're discussing the whole Diaz fight tonight. And we're talking about Nick Diaz. I said the UFC is like, Dana White and these people, they're pieces of shit. They bring back Nick Diaz. He hasn't fought in like 8 years.
Yeah.
They don't give him a tune-up fight. Hey, go fight Robbie Lawler. You got to take away. That's his signature win is Robbie fucking Lawler.
Oh, yeah, Nick.
Why you got to take that away from him? Just give him 3 fights, then give him Robbie Lawler. So
Well, since we're talking about the MMA, we know that the MMA they go into boxing. There's a match tonight with Nate Diaz against Jake Paul, and we'll get into that. But before we get into that, I want to get into the fight that everyone's been talking about: Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. Okay, Mike Tyson is going to be training Francis.
Oh,
now,
Lord.
I personally think this might be fucking trouble. Okay, if Mike Tyson can get Francis to hold on to all the skill and technique that he is teaching him, whoo.
T the truth.
Well, word is
T the truth.
yeah.
If you don't jump on this one, I am going to lose my shit back here.
Hey.
Jump on what? I don't appreciate
what-
that sort of talk, man.
But I'm saying if you do not straighten this guy out on his thought
I don't
process,
appreciate this.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to lose my shit.
Today-
man hits like a fucking freight train.
Look, today I read that Mike Tyson was actually very surprised about the ability of Francis Ngannou. He said that if Francis Ngannou was a lot better than he thought he was, and that this fight might be more trouble. Here's my thing. Francis Ngannou has a puncher's chance, okay? Tyson Fury is the heavyweight champion of the world, and he is one of the best heavyweight champions of all time. So the benefit of the doubt goes to the champion. All I'm saying is Chris Bird, the former heavyweight champion of the world, once said, he said that, look, everybody's dangerous in the heavyweight division. Even that journeyman bum, even that opponent with a bad record, all he needs is one punch to win the fight.
Yeah.
So Ngannou has long arms. He's an athlete, and I'm sure he's going to be very enthusiastic to make something happen. So as long as Fury doesn't sleep on Francis Ngannou, it's elementary. But if he goes out there fucking around, playing around, to me, these kind of fights always smell trouble because it's very easy to underestimate guys like this. It's kind of like you have a lot of experience, okay, and then you decide to move around with a guy who just started, and you have a harder time with him than you do a world-class fighter,
Right.
And it's not because he's better; it's because this guy's never fought before. He's awkward. You're also came in with a mentality that he's not really that good, so you're not really giving it your all, and you get into this zone where you're not putting up as best as you could do, and then this guy doesn't even understand the orthodox way of how to do it, and it turns out to be a little bit more challenging than you would expect. So, I hope, and Tyson Fury has a bad habit of fighting up and down to his competition.
We saw it with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, and look, Tyson Fury doesn't need this fight. This is the fight no one asked for. No one gives two shits about.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
No one's clamoring for this fight. No one gives it. Not people are going to watch it because it could be a train wreck. But the thing is, it is not the fight anyone really. Where did this come from?
Clearly, Whoopty Whoop.
Yeah, but
wants to
Whoopty-
see this shit.
I want to see this shit.
No,
Absolutely.
I'm a hardcore fight fan.
mean,
I wanna see 'em all.
there's going to be fireworks, man. There's going to be fireworks. If you don't think that this fight is not going to have fireworks, you're tripping.
But I get
not
what
only
T the
that-
truth is saying.
Hold on. Not only that, the man was training to be a boxer before they moved him to MMA.
Oh,
he's got.
So he already has experience with boxing. I'm not saying that he has
in the
experience
gym. There's a bit in the gym.
Hold on. I'm not saying that he
Maybe
has
training.
experience.
We don't know how many sparring
I'm
hours
not
he has.
saying that he has experience in like fighting world-class boxers, but the man was boxing before he joined MMA. Before he did any type of MMA.
Let me tell you something.
And guess what?
Uh-huh.
When he came into boxing, he didn't know shit about boxing.
Yep.
He came in with zero boxing experience, came into a fucking MMA gym and said, I want to learn how to box. And then they said, no.
Hey, do that again.
I want to learn how to box.
Hey, that's racist, bro. That's racist. I don't know where you got
Who
that
is this
accent
nigga?
from, bro.
Oh
Who
my
is this
God.
nigga?
That's
I
fucked
want
up.
to learn how to box.
But
I want to learn how to box.
Hold on. Let me
Who
say
is
this.
this nigga?
Francis
Who is
Ngannou.
this nigga?
Francis Ngannou came from such dire straits that motherfucker was trying to do everything. He's like, look, I'll throw a javelin. I'll fucking what do I gotta do to get the fuck out of here? You know, he did everything. That motherfucker was out there running track, doing boxing, MMA, ballet, swimming. That motherfucker, he hit every single sport. You know, they'll put him up against Michael Phelps, and they're like, man, he got no chance. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh shit!
He was swimming when he fucking first started. Don't you know? That motherfucker's a dolphin. I mean, so
oh man!
Look, my money is on Tyson Fury, barring a one-punch knockout by a guy with long arms who weighs almost 300 pounds and is going to swing for the fences. And if Tyson's in his corner, I have mixed feelings.
Let's not forget.
He's a bad influence,
let's
Mike
not
Tyson.
forget
Oh, yeah,
the
let's not.
haymaker.
He's like, listen,
that,
man,
hey.
in case you can't sleep, here's some edibles. Like, oh, shit. Don't do it. You know, Errol Spence just breaks down the door out of nowhere. Don't do it. No. He just popping edibles like, oh, I'm going to be fine. Don't worry. Like, no.
Who is this nigga? Let me eat my edibles.
What is this? What is this, Tyson?
What is this? What is
Listen,
this?
man, just eat it, man. You can be just fine, man. Don't worry about it. You just fight like this all the time. He probably respects Mike Tyson so much. He's like, listen, man, I used to be fighting drunk and shit, man. You're gonna be good, man. It's only 1,000 milligrams. That ain't nothing. I do that just in the afternoon, man. It's nothing, man. It's like, yeah. Listen, Francis Ngannou, if Tyson tries to give you a shroom kit, say no.
Say no. Right.
Say no to drugs.
Yeah, say no.
Hey, but check this out. Check this out.
Say no to drugs, Francis.
Hey, let's not forget.
hang around
Hey,
talk.
check it out.
Shit.
Let's not forget that fucking haymaker that Deontay Wilder landed on Tyson Fury in their first fight. Now, I don't.
He ain't getting nothing.
If he lands that, Tyson Fury is not going to jump up like a fucking zombie.
He ain't
I mean, look. Deontay Wilder is as difficult of a heavyweight if you really think about it. I know the boxing skills were not always there because the guy came up so fast. He was like a lot like George Foreman. Like he started boxing a year later, he was a bronze medalist. So you know, he's literally that's how it went in a year's time. Like George Foreman had won a gold medal in a year. But the thing is with Deontay Wilder is that it's very rare you get someone who's 6'7", but weighs only 220 or 213, but hits like if you take 6 heavyweights, the biggest punchers, combine them and then put it in his right hand. And then he touches you with it and you just go, so that's a lot of pressure. And for a guy as big as Tyson Fury, one of my biggest fears going into the first fight was I said, I knew Tyson would box. And I always felt that was the wrong strategy because you can move for the first half, but somewhere down the second half, you're going to slow down and you're going to have to stand in one place at one time. And it's like, you know, it's like a rocket. This guy will find you. And as soon as you stand in one place, Deontay Wilder will find you with a right hand. The best way to fight guys like that is you got to put it on them. So in the last round, when he got knocked down, he got back up, you know, that historic, that legendary zombie-like Frankenstein move that he pulled. But when he got back up, he took it to him and he said, that's how you fight this motherfucker. And he went and got Sugar Hill. And Sugar Hill is Emmanuel Stewart, the great Emmanuel Stewart's nephew, I believe. And that's a more aggressive style. You know, he wanted to conjure up that Emmanuel Stewart Kronk energy. And that's what he did. And he took it to, and in the second fight, it was brilliant. I mean, it was like Marvin Hagler shit. He took it to him, dominated him, and drove and rallied all the way to a stoppage.
Beat the shit.
In the third fight, I felt the energy was a little bit different, and it seemed like Tyson Fury had a lot going on, and he stood more in front of him, and he got knocked down. But Tyson Fury's a tough man. He was calling
him a cheater, and all this other shit.
Who Wilder was it?
Yeah,
Wilder's like George Foreman. George Foreman thought they poisoned him. He thought that Dick Sadler, Sandy Sadler's brother, one of the great trainers and fighters of all time. He thought the Sadler brothers had poisoned him because they loved Ali, that they put something in his drink. You know, no, you got your ass whooped. And he believed that for a long time. Forever, he believed that Muhammad Ali and those guys had poisoned him. And that's why. It wasn't the 1,000 punches around he was throwing for 8 straight rounds, and he had never been past really 3 rounds in his whole career. You know, he thought it was poison. So Deontay Wilder thinks it's magic. You know, he even said, look, I got an egg shape. He had an egg shaped
Yeah.
weight in his glove. I have an
And I
egg
have an
shaped hole
indent
in my head.
Yeah.
It's like conspiracy theories. The Las Vegas Commission checks the wraps. Everyone, your team checks the wraps. Everybody checks the wraps. They're not putting nothing in the fucking gloves. Relax, dude. He don't need nothing in his gloves.
Well, there was a guy that commented on my TikTok, and I'm just gonna read it to you. His name is Rick Shillage 102, and he said Fury has this. Francis is a less skilled Wilder. And personally, I don't believe that at all.
A less skilled Wilder, I could see that because listen, at least Wilder has a lot of boxing experience, even if he's limited. Look, when you start boxing late in life, let me say this, okay? When you start early in life as a kid, you don't have any of that man strength. So a lot of your boxing experience becomes finesse and technique and craft. And then as you grow older, you get the man strength, and now the offense comes into play. And that's why the guys who started early in life, like Crawford and Mayweather and all these, even De La Hoya, Mosley, you go down the list. And even Spence, he started a little later, around the age I started, like 13 or 14. But when you start as a kid, you don't have that strength, so you learn how to box. And then when the strength comes in, you add it, and now you can box, and now you can punch, you can get aggressive. When guys start like Joshua or Wilder, and they start at 19, 20 years old, they're already men. So it's more aggression first. Everything is more offense oriented. Mm-hmm. So, but they make also a lot of mistakes. When you're a kid, you absorb a lot of things and they become very subconscious and becomes instinctual. And for guys who are a lot, they start older, they're already adults. So there's a lot of mistakes that they make. And Wilder makes those mistakes. Joshua makes those mistakes. They don't have much of an intuition. Look, Deontay Wilder is a great athlete. He's also a freak of nature. The guy is a specimen. I mean, no one's really in boxing built like that. You know, that wiry frame as a heavyweight. He's like a Tommy Hearns. And he might be limited. But, you know, Larry Merchant, the great Larry Merchant used to say, he goes, that guy's one dimension, but what a hell of a dimension. Some guys are one dimensional, but it's you deal with that dimension. Felix Trinidad was one dimensional, okay? But he'll knock you the fuck out. I mean, he was a tremendously talented in the one dimension. You don't get a lot of guys like Terrence Crawford. You know, these are generational talents where they are complete, total fighters, you know? But, you know, for Deontay Wilder, for Ngannou, my issue with Ngannou is I believe people could do anything they put their mind to it. And I think he can go train very well. And God knows, Tyson Fury, and I don't know about this. Look, I can't say this as a fact. There is a lot of corroboration, but Tyson Fury's career seems to be controlled by the Irish mob. Bob Arum and Frank Warren said that leader of the Irish mob is always involved, gets in the way, and takes money for doing God knows what. And I think Tyson Fury, this is just my speculation, but I think he'd be retired right now if it wasn't for the Irish mob. And I think this fight has more to do with him paying some kind of master that he has. Because I think if it was up to Tyson Fury, truly, I think he'd be retired. He retired. Then all of a sudden his cousin gets stabbed up, and now he comes back and fights Dillian White and is continuing to box. Remember, he said he was done.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck about the undisputed title. He's not Lennox Lewis. I mean, he's done everything he could possibly want to do. It just, remember, Tommy Fury couldn't come over the first time to fight Jake Paul because the State Department refused to give him a visa because of the Irish mob. So there's a connection between Fury and the Irish mob. He's taking this really weird fight. And to be honest with you, this does nothing for Tyson Fury. Nothing. He don't need this fight. No one gives a shit if he wins or loses this fight. If he loses, he discredits himself. He's giving Ngannou an opportunity to make money and to hit the fucking jackpot. So this is not a smart move. This is why
it's a win-win for Ngannou.
For Ngannou to win either way, because if you lose and win, who cares? You're getting paid millions of dollars.
And look, and if he goes the distance, and even though it's an exhibition fight, if he goes the distance, people are going to say, "Holy shit, he went the distance with Tyson Fury." Then he's a win. It's a win. If he knocks Tyson Fury out, they're going to be like, "Oh shit, he's legit." It's a win. He can't, even if he gets fucked up.
And that's the thing. Then at that point, that man's going to start taking it serious. Fury.
If Fury gets knocked out, he'll have just discredited his entire career. And I'm sorry, I'm old school. The man who beats the man is the man.
Thank you.
If you let Ngannou fight you, whether it's for the heavyweight title or not, how can you walk around and be the heavyweight champ when this guy just turned pro and knocked you the fuck out? So I come from the old, I prescribe to the old days. I don't give two shits about the belts. the alphabet soup sanctioning body garbage. It's about who's the lineal champion. Fury's the lineal champion, and Ngannou's getting a crack but it's an exhibition. But come on, I mean, it's like, Mayweather's having exhibitions. If you get knocked out, this is going to discredit your legacy. These are stupid fights. Of course, Mayweather's very smart. He's getting the most incompetent people he could find.
Yeah.
So you got to be smart like Mayweather. You can't go get real killers. You got to go get, and Ngannou, what does he have to lose? What does he have to lose? Come in there and swing for the fences. He'll be in great shape. And if he hits the guy on the chin, he could go out. And it's that possible.
Well, to me, I just don't think it's going to be a swing for the fences kind of event.
Definitely gonna
No,
be
I
a
don't.
swing
I don't think so because he got Mike Tyson.
Look.
Mike Tyson.
No.
I'm saying-
I got you. It's gonna be a swing for the fences because the moment he tries to box Tyson Fury, he's going to get the fucking snot.
I just think that you're discrediting what Mike
Tyson doesn't have enough
can bring to
time
the
with
table.
Ngannou.
This is Mike Tyson's training regime. All right, Francis, did you take those shrooms? Perfect. Let's go exercise. It's gonna be some. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a fucking mess.
Shit.
And then there'll be days where like, oh, where's Mike Tyson? We got to train. Tyson's fucked up on DMT. Oh my God, the toad is talking to me. He's saying you're gonna win this fight. Like, oh shit. He probably calls up Ngannou in the middle of the night. Ngannou, I just did DMT. The frog said you're gonna win. Did you take those shrooms?
Not tonight. I did not. But I will.
I will.
Hey, so obviously tonight, here in a couple minutes is going to be Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. Who do you have to win this fight tonight, and why?
Okay, so look,
I hope you're going to be real T the truth right now.
I've been real to the truth the whole time. I mean, I just basically said
Can he get an applause? Can we get an applause over here?
Can we get a fucking applause? I said that Tyson Fury is controlled by the Irish mob. I dropped some nuggets on this one, man. I could get canceled 50 times already. But the way I look at it is the way I look at it is this. I'm more of a fan tonight. I can see the cons against I can see the negatives against Nate Diaz, 40 years old, scar tissue, a lot of miles on the odometer. But I will say this: no one's ever ran through Nate Diaz. These are the upset kings. They're very deceptive. He has been boxing his whole life, and you can't sleep on the Diaz brothers. And Nate Diaz, he gets inside of these people's heads. He seemed like he got inside of Jake Paul's head. Just kept getting up and walking away. You could tell he was pissing him the fuck off. And I'm sorry, Jake Paul to me is kind of like boxing cosplay. Like I can become boxing cosplay. It's boxing cosplay because I can become a millionaire and then walk around and act like I'm a world-class fighter and just start hiring people and conditioning coaches and all that nice stuff. But to me, it's like, look, when you pick a guy, if you look at his career so far, Jake Paul, so you have a bunch of people that don't know anything about fighting, basketball players and cab drivers and that sort of thing.
Wait, cab drivers?
Yeah, well, the Uber driver that drove him over, that was like the first opponent, and he got him. He got that guy pretty good, and then he got Nate Robinson. In the first half of his career is like 8 fights. What is it, like 7, 8 fights? He's fought 8 times.
I think, he's fought.
Okay, well, 4 of those times was literally against civilians. One guy, Nate Robinson, made it an ego thing. See, at first, they thought he was a YouTuber, but he was training. So it's not like he's, just that. To me, that's a flawed way to look at the sport. Listen, there's a guy, Carlos Baldomir was a feather duster salesman. He would fight, and then he would go back to the arena after his fight and sell feather dusters. You know what I mean? So right. And there was, I think Matisse or somebody was a cab driver. There's people they got jobs. Okay. So my thing is though with Jake Paul is you got to give him a lot of credit because the guy is either crazy or has a lot of guts. I mean, he gets up in front of a lot of people. He talks a lot of shit. He puts on these big events and he does. That's a lot of pressure. I know guys that they look good in the gym and as soon as they get under the lights, they choke. So you got to give him credit for the amount of guts that he has, but he's also completely oblivious. He has no clue what he's doing. And against Tommy Fury, every single bit of his inexperience and inability and incompetence, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know, look, I think Nate Diaz, the thing is with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu especially, is it's very deceptive, and they're very deceptive guys. And he's a real prize fighter. You know, he's not some martial arts. He is a martial artist. But him and his brother, they think like prize fighters. And he's been with Richard Torres, I believe that's his name, his boxing coach. So it's like a mom and pop shop operation the whole time. And, you know, with Jake Paul, it's like he loses a fight, predictably, to a guy who also sucks but can box a little bit. At least he comes from a boxing family.
Yeah,
and
Tommy's not
right. Tommy is not really that good. He's not a world-class fighter, but it was an amateur fight. It was like his real first professional fight. And you saw the lack of skills there. But with the Diaz brothers, what I mean about jiu-jitsu is that they're very deceptive. They're very deceiving. He's fooled a lot of people. He upset McGregor the same way. People think he's a bum. People think he's a journeyman. They sleep on him. And he's a lot tougher than you think that he is. He could take shots better. He could box better than you think that he is. He's been doing this for a long time, and he's very aware about the pitfalls and the dangers of fighting. So it's not like he's delusional, or I think Jake Paul is a little bit delusional.
Yeah,
unless
definitely.
it's an act and he knows better.
But
I think that he thinks that I'm going to get a washed up former MMA guy.
I think so too.
And he couldn't have chosen the worst one.
Yeah.
Because look, they think he's a Homer Simpson zombie that comes forward and just takes a lot of punches and you gas out. No, he's not. He's actually very crafty. He's a little harder to hit than you think that he is. His boxing's pretty good. Why did McGregor run away from him? Why did Leon Edwards get hurt?
Yeah.
You know, because those don't seem the way he'll slap a couple of punches, he'll tap you, and then here comes some hard punches behind it.
He's just getting that range.
Good jab, good, you know, and then for his training, he knows how to get real training partners. He used to spar with Andre Ward, and he used to with Amir Khan and all those guys, and even for this one,
Andre even said that he is certified with those hands.
Yeah, and look, even for this fight, he was sparring with a gold medalist, getting his ass handed to him by a gold medalist. So the point I'm trying to make is that maybe this is wishful thinking because, look, there is Miles. This kid is bigger. This kid is younger, Jake Paul. And Nate Diaz does have the scar tissue and everything against him, but it's always against Nate Diaz.
Always.
It's always against. And every time he fights one of these guys that underestimates him, he always comes in and hands them their ass.
Yes, he does.
He did it to McGregor, and he can do it again tonight. And I know this is wishful thinking before I'm wrong again, because I'm backing. First, I back Spence. They're gonna get on me. They're like, "Listen, man, take your podcast, take your fucking podcast, and shove it up your ass, buddy." They're
Sports
like,
how you supposed to get it.
I'm gonna become known. I swear, I'm gonna become known eventually. You know, they're gonna be like, "This guy's never right." He backs every fucking loser every week. No, listen, I want to make a disclaimer, okay? With the Spence fight, I knew Crawford is a phenom, and it was very hard to imagine him losing. And I knew that the dangers were there, but I like to root for the underdog, and I'm doing it again tonight. I like the Diaz brothers. I like Nate Diaz. I think Jake Paul's been good for women's boxing. Wait, you know? No, listen. He's no. Listen, I'm not saying he's a woman. I'm saying.
Wait a minute. What the hell?
Well, let me explain. I'm saying he's been very good for women's boxing. Literally, he signed Shadeja Green. She's a woman knockout artist. She's going to be on the undercard tonight. He signed Amanda Serrano. He was instrumental in that Katie Taylor Serrano fight. So I'm not a hater. I call it as it is. I have nothing against Jake Paul. He is working out hard. I mean, I think if they had like a men's physique bodybuilding competition, maybe he could join up. If they had the who's the better athlete competition, I think that he could sign up and maybe win one of those. But this is the fight business. In the fight business, a guy with the dad bod can come in there and fuck you up. You can do all the strength and conditioning shit. Look at Spence. Conditioning coaches and all this weird football training and all this weird shit. How did that help you? How did it help you? Crawford was just doing the basic boxing workout, and look how it turned out. So, you know, that's fine and dandy. You're rich. You hired a bunch of coaches. Look, he loses to Tommy Fury. Instead of owning up, being self-accountable and saying it's because of me, he blamed his coaches, fired all these people that he was acted so close with. blame them for his loss and goes and hires a bunch of new people and strength and conditioning coaches. It's the same inept, clueless attitude about boxing. That listen, all that shit don't matter. I used to watch Floyd Mayweather train. What special conditioning shit was he doing? Running, push-ups, jumping jacks. I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. This guy do jumping jacks and come in and whoop your ass in 12 rounds easy. off of jumping jacks.
Is that what's going on, Mayweather? You over here doing burpees before you go and fight?
Not even that is too complicated, burpees. He was doing fucking jumping jacks, okay? When he beat Pacquiao, it was the funniest thing in the world. Pacquiao's like, ha, 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 and then you cut over to fucking Mayweather, and he's doing like 35 jumping jacks. He's like, I'm done. And goes in there and whoops your ass over 12 rounds. All the weird, and especially in MMA, all the snake oil salesmen and strength and conditioning coaches. And he goes, and my favorite quote, he goes, you don't got no real training partners. He goes, you're playing touch butt in the park with that dork with the ponytail. So yeah, he goes, you ain't got no boxing sparring. You ain't got no top flight kickboxers, no top world class boxers, nobody. You're just playing touch butt in the park with that dork with the ponytail. You know, and listen, and McGregor was clueless.
Man, shout out to Nate Diaz, man.
Listen, I will say this: I'm a fan tonight. I don't give a fuck. I'm rooting for Nate Diaz. It has nothing to do with the hate for Jake Paul. One man has bought themselves into fighting. The other man has been fighting and paid his dues since he was a 15-year-old kid. And I'm rooting for the real prize fighter.
Shout out to that.
I'm rooting for the real prize fighter who's dedicated his entire life, taking a multitude of beatings, was involved for 20 straight years, I think it was, in the UFC at the world-class level. I'm rooting for that guy. I'm sorry. His face is the face of a guy who had dedicated himself to the sport with the nose, with the broken nose and all the scar tissue and the cauliflower ears. And listen,
stuttering.
I'm betting on the cauliflower ears
listen,
tonight. I don't give a fuck.
And the
a lot of people
and
listen,
the mumbling.
No. Let's be really clear.
Punch drunk.
Hey, listen. No. Let's be very clear. Nate Diaz and his brother, they talk like that anyways. They've always spoke like that.
Well, not that bad. I mean, it's just but let me tell you why I think that is.
Fuck all the time.
All right, Nate, all right.
Okay, you took the words out of my mouth.
Who do you got, Heat? Who are you choosing?
First of all, you know this touches my Cali roots. Hey. So you know I'm going for the 209, man. Stockton, the shithole of fucking California. Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
I will say this about the
By the way, Stockton is an underdog motherfucking town, and ain't nothing but dogs there.
Nothing but dogs.
Yeah, and Nate Diaz.
Say that.
Nate Diaz is a real dog.
Nothing but dogs.
And Nate Diaz is a real dog. And I'm sorry, but they always sleep on this guy. And Conor McGregor did the same thing. They brought him on 2 weeks' notice. And you know what he did? He goes, because look, he campaigned for the fight. Remember, McGregor took Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos hurt his toe, pulled out of the fight. Because look, before that, Nate Diaz had beat Michael Johnson. He goes, you taking everything I worked for, motherfucker. You know, I'm the real money fight. If you want to make money, you got to fight me. So when they gave him the fight, they brought him in because he had, because Nate Diaz had already plotted on this. I want to show you that this guy's a schemer. People think that he's dumb. He plays dumb. He looks dumb. He talks like he's dumb. And the thing is, he's not very dumb. He's actually very smart, and he's plotting on your ass. That's the real prize fighting way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when the McGregor fight came, he said, "No, we got to fight at 170." After he beat his ass, he goes, "I could have made 155." But he was smart. He set him up, and because McGregor was so arrogant about his chances, and he thought he was such a bum, he took it. He did the same thing with Jake Paul tonight. He says, "Yeah, I'll fight your ass." Okay, 8 rounds. He goes, "Make it 10." Jake Paul goes, "I'm just fighting Homer Simpson. Easy work.
Yeah.
I'll do 10." Bro, you fucked up, buddy.
I saw that when they had to sit down with each other. He said something that I think you can attest to the truth, and that was he's like, "I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. When we get in the ring, it's time to fight. It's fight time. That's all that fucking matters."
Well, he played with his mind again during that face-off.
Yeah.
He told him, he goes, he started acting like he changed his mind. He goes, "Man, I'm tired of thinking about it." He goes, "Can we just do 2 rounds? Can we just do 2 rounds?"
Can we just do 2 rounds?
And then once Jake Paul started getting off, he started complimenting. He just got up and walked away. And I thought that was hilarious because that really stunned him. And you know what Jake Paul said? He goes, "This guy is insane."
Yeah.
He goes, "This is," and he meant it.
Yeah, he's all.
He doesn't like compliments.
That's what Nate Diaz does. He fucks with your mind, and he gets inside of your head. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. You gotta think the odds are fair. You're talking about the bigger, younger man who's the A side and the rest of it. But boy, oh boy, man, I love the dramatic upsets.
It is going to be a hell of a fight.
And I'm talking purely from a fan's point of view.
Oh, so you're keeping your boxing knowledge and everything else the fuck out of it, is what you're saying.
No, because I'm saying, look, the Spence Crawford fight was tough to pick. No one, even Crawford's own trainer, Bomac, thought that he would perform that poorly. They thought it would be a close fight. Everyone and their mom thought it was going to be a 50-50 fight. So no one ever thought it would be. I saw the potential of him getting trashed, but the same thing tonight. There's a lot of intangibles.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Honestly, I knew it was going to be a fucking ass whooping. I never thought that.
Fuck out of here.
I never once thought that
he is such a bandwagon ass motherfucker.
Hey, check me out.
Bro,
check me out.
It's written in his diary.
It's in my diary.
He'll prove it.
I'll prove it. I will prove it.
Hey, go start rating. Get that shit predated or some shit. You know?
Oh,
look,
man.
I did a video. In that video, I said potentially that this was going to happen. That is, one, it was definitely going to be a violent altercation.
Yeah.
But listen, Spence is better than that. So I thought he would do better than that. I rooted for the guy, you know, because he's the underdog, and I would like to see underdogs do big things. I love it. Part of the best part of being a boxing fan is not to see the same guy who's favored to win all the time. That Mayweather's biggest issue is that he made a lot of money, but to get the acclaim from the mainstream public outside of for his riches has been very difficult, and he pisses him off that people can't just say you're Roberto Duran, you're Sugar Ray Robinson. It's because you got to dare to be great. If every guy you fight is a -400, is a +400 or worse, that means you're never the underdog. You're not even close to being the underdog. When has Mayweather ever been the underdog? The glory goes to those who take the risks, who dare to be great. Muhammad Ali was the underdog so many times, and twice they thought he was going to die. I mean, when he fought Sonny Liston, he was 10-1 underdog. When he fought Foreman, they were getting ready for a funeral. Like literally, they thought he was going to die in there. When you do stuff like that and you win, you make history. And when you make history, people never forget shit like that. Mm-hmm. If Nate Diaz wins tonight, he'll have done it again. When he beat McGregor, the whole fucking world went nuts. I remember the arena just exploded and we all lost our mind. No one expected that. I expected it. I told my buddy, I said, watch, he's going to strangle this guy. This guy's underestimating him. He thinks he's a journeyman bum. And look, he's already messing with his head. Remember the first press conference with him and McGregor? McGregor came in with a bunch of rehearsed lines and all that, and you're in the park you're teaching class on Sunday, and you're doing balloon animals on Tuesday, and he said, "Fuck you, fuck your team, fuck your this," and it pissed him off when he told him he was on steroids. Then McGregor lost his mind, and he was cussing at reporters on the way out. And Nate Diaz goes, "You're on steroids," and he lost his mind. Nate Diaz is sitting there laughing to himself because he's getting this guy. He's playing with he's whipping his head. He did the same thing to Jake Paul. He whipped Jake Paul. I've never seen Jake Paul actually this animated, this heated. You fucking pussy and all this, that, and the other. He's really pissed off. He didn't help pump up this promotion, and he's really gotten inside this kid's head. And this kid thinks that everything is sweet. But my problem with Jake Paul is that he pays to look like a world-class fighter. He pays to have strength and conditioning coaches. He pays to have the elite of the boxing world, the former washed-up guys, come and be around him. But it's all appearances.
Not to mention he pays for the big hoopla. They pay for the big hoopla. He pays to look like Canelo, to look like Mayweather, to be on that level. He pays to give the appearance. But once he fights, he don't know what the fuck he's doing. He don't know how to cut off a ring. He doesn't have footwork. He doesn't know how to back up and fight. He doesn't know how to set you up. He doesn't know how to gas you up. He has no experience. He'll come in, he'll swing for the fences. He'll throw his haymakers. He'll bum rush you a couple of times. If you stand in front of him, you can get knocked out. Mm-hmm. If you stand in front of him.
Yeah.
But if you don't stand in front of him, then he has a hard time. But he's a tough kid. He has a lot of guts. I don't want to, I'm not hating on him. But I'm sorry, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm picking, my heart is with Cali all day. So I'm definitely going with Nate Diaz, and I cannot wait to see how stupid Jake Paul's gonna look after he gets his ass whooping. But you know what I'm saying? I think that's all the time that we have tonight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep everyone from watching this fight because I sure the hell want to watch this fight myself. But I just want to thank you, Tarek, for joining us tonight and being here, man. I can't wait to have you here for more shows, brother. It was a pleasure having you.
I want to say that it was my pleasure. This was a tremendous amount of fun, and we need to shoot the shit again. And Francis Ngannou, don't eat the shrooms, bro.
Don't eat the shrooms, man.
Don't eat the edibles.
Hey, everyone that tuned in, man, thank you so much for tuning in to our show, man. I really appreciate it for all the new listeners that tuned in. Also, man, thank you so much. We appreciate you, man. And this was Whoopty Whoop Sports, how you supposed to get it, dummy. And